Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, as you're all coming in. Hello, hello. Okay, I think the one that I don't remember the name. Hi, Madeline. Oh, you're muted.
I said my other Zoom doesn't start till 6:30.
Oh, yay. So we get you for a half hour.
Yeah,
And then we have, is it Laura whose phone shows up this way, or is it JAKKKAK's phone? I'm gonna have to make myself a note. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I gotta find the chat. There we go. Okay, how's everybody doing today? I didn't even turn my
too
machine on yet.
bad. I just printed out the petals.
Oh, you did? Yay!
It took me a few tries to get that box to 1 inch.
Okay, so the first time that I did it, I actually, and I'd forgotten about it till you said that. I did the same thing and I printed it out and they were like way too small or whatever, and so I figured I had to go back and adjust them until I got the petals the right size. And the
And now
nice thing that
and now I'm
about
trying to find that um 10-inch square pack that I bought. Remember I told you I bought that. I got such a good deal on it. It was
yep,
all florals and stuff. Now I can't find it. It's in this room somewhere.
that's how I am. I was looking for something the other day, some fabric. I think it was for that. And I knew I had it somewhere, but my bins are such a mess. I've got to spend some time and because the other problem I have with my fabric bins is I have fabric in there. I have projects that I've started that I've kind of corralled together because they're not finished. So I've got to get it kind of sorted a lot better.
Well, I got a ground zero closet. It's probably in there.
And I gotta find my petals because I gotta work on these butterflies because I gotta get this butterflies thing going. I think I'm gonna try and get some of those stitched down tonight. I'll move you guys more towards my sewing machine. It is so warm. It has not let up at all.
It's not warm here. It's like 55, but it's
Oh,
been pouring all day. And it's
we
supposed to
have
rain tomorrow, and it's supposed to rain Friday, and it's supposed to rain Saturday.
we have people that we know that live in Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania near Madeline, near Maryland. And he was talking the other day about how unbelievably cold it had been and raining. Holy cow. Weird.
And it's killing my arthritis, really. I really wish it would stop.
Yeah, you know what? Steve's mom had lived for a while hang on before I lose my train of thought here. I got one going that way, one going that way, one going that way, and one going this way. Oh, I got a second row almost ready. They just have to be stitched. Imagine that. One going, no, you have to go this way. Um, when Steve's mom was still here, she had arthritis really bad. And she had lived for a long time with Steve's sister in Ohio. And she was miserable because for her arthritis, it was
Hmm.
just brutal, and she was in so much pain. And when she moved back to Florida, while she still had the heat, the her arthritis was so much more manageable. Okay, let's see. Hi, Sandra. Oh, hi, Julie. Oh, Julie changed her name. I think. I think Julie fixed her name.
20, $20. That's not bad.
And I still haven't made it to I was so close. I was so close to getting some stuff at Hobby Lobby, and I went in and I only had time to return the stuff that I was returning, and I didn't even have a chance to get more heat and bond or fabric or Hi, Sandra. So it has been very, very warm here. And then, ouch. This morning, we they've been doing this road work in front of our home, the whole street. And they told us that they needed to they were trying to correct the water runoff. And so they cut up like the first, I don't know, 30 feet of everybody's on the easement. They cut into everybody's yard. Well, then today, unbeknownst to us, they discovered that they also had to cut into our driveways.
Oy.
So the first like 3 or 4 feet of our driveway, they came this morning, and all of a sudden we heard this unbelievable noise, and they uh, chopped up and removed and had to re-pour the whole entry to our driveway. The only amazing thing was, I will say this, they cut that sucker, had another guy right behind him come in and lifted up these huge concrete slab pieces. Then 10 minutes later, another truck came through. The guys put the new form down to replace the concrete at the right angle. They re-poured it, and it's already mostly dry just in one day. It's amazing what they can do when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hope.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't get my sound to work.
Oh, there you are.
It was gagging me. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. So it's been a fun day of looking out the front window trying to figure out what they were doing.
In price.
But I think that I'm hoping because this butterflies thing actually starts to come together pretty quick, I'm thinking that by this weekend, I am going to get at least the body of it put together with the sashing. Because then I've got to, because I don't have a whole lot on the green border we're gonna use. I'm gonna have to start cutting that, and I think it called out for a pretty large border. Oh, here's my pattern. There she is. So the border is supposed to be 3.5 inches. I'm not gonna do that big of a border.
Oh,
I
it's a
think I'm
nice
gonna
size border. It's a general size border.
is it? Yeah, that's true.
Anywhere between two and a
Border.
half and over. I usually use 3 inches.
It might look
I
too, it might be, if you do it too small, it's not going to, I think, and relative to the shape, size of the butterflies, anything smaller might look a little lost.
That's a good point. Well, then I think I'm gonna have to measure this out And I may have to, maybe tomorrow, I might have to slip away for a few minutes and go and see if, because I think this was just a Moda. I remember the color was eucalyptus. I'm gonna see if maybe Hobby Lobby has this.
I don't think they carry Moda though. Do they? I don't think so. They carry Kona.
Kona.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is Moda or Kona?
If
that
you
may
bought
be
it,
Kona.
if you bought it at Hobby Lobby, it's more likely Kona because they don't sell Moda. Moda's too uppity. I love Moda, but they wouldn't. I didn't know how to say that. They wouldn't sell at Hobby Lobby. That would be like, oh, no, ma'am.
I'm gonna
But I
have to
do
see if
love,
I still have the bag. I better take this with me
absolutely.
because worst case scenario, I'll just have to start over with that fabric. It once,
So there's no salvage with any name on it or anything.
well, no.
Mhm. I would
I
just
have
take it with me.
the, I think I got this at Missouri Star.
If you, and that could be Moda then.
It calls for 1 1/8 yards, but I only have a yard.
So make it a little smaller, make it 3 inches.
You know what? I think if I go 3 inches, I'll be okay.
Measure it out and see. I think you should.
I think that's what I'll do. I better put this somewhere where I won't forget to take it out of here.
And if you have to go 2.5 inches, it's not going to ruin your quilt.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can do 3, but worst case
Yeah,
scenario, we'll go
do the
two and a
two.
half. I mean, we'll
Yeah,
go 2.5.
What's the size of your blanket? Well,
blanket. Oh, that's a bad word.
I know I
Blanket.
slip every once in a while.
I know. People do that.
It
It's just funny.
is the finished size is 52 by 64.
52 by 54. Border
Six
one.
four. Is that what you heard? 52 by 64?
54. 54? Oh, it's
6
six
4.
four.
No, that's the finished size. Remember that. So it's taken
Yeah.
into
And
account.
your width of your fabric is what? 43 inches?
I always say
Oh,
42.
I could put in 42.
But then again, remember the finished, she's talking about the finished product, which already includes the border.
I don't know what they want me to put in here. I'm trying to get it on the app to see how much you need.
On Kaufman,
Yeah,
yeah, so just
width and
get,
length, and then the width. Oh, the width of the border. Okay, I got it. You need for a 3.5 inch border. You need 2 2/3 yards.
did you say
Six
two?
strips to cut 6 strips, and that'll give you a
how
three
big
and
of
a
a
half inch
border?
border. Huh?
3.5. For 3.5 inch?
3.5 inch border. They'd say about 2/3 yards.
But now remember, Madeline and Angela, the size you gave is the finished size, which includes the border already. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So she would
Yeah,
need
but if
even
you if
less.
you if you put in the amount for that size, you have more than enough.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. She
Yeah,
probably has enough.
sure.
Uh,
I'd rather have more than less.
When you get to that point, Angela, just a suggestion. When you get your quilt put together and you're ready to put the borders on,
yeah.
you have to measure anyway. You have to measure the length and the width. And then you would be able to determine,
Oh,
okay, well, you
right.
know, I either have enough or I don't. I can, that's when you'd be able to make your decision. You'll be fine.
I think so too. I think I'm gonna
I don't
I
know
think
why
once,
I never
I
use
think the
this part.
first thing,
I don't know why I never use this part of the app. They tell you even how many strips to cut. I don't have to sit and figure that out.
That's a wonderful app.
that's cool.
It's a
That's
great app. I
amazing.
love it.
Yes, I agree. So I wouldn't worry about it, Angela. I would just get to that step and then make a decision based on the size of your
Yeah.
assembled parts and what you have. You'll be fine.
Now I gotta find that stitch again.
That's why I said to Angela, she ought to load this app onto her phone.
I have it
What
as
is,
an app.
what is it?
It's
It's
Oh, that's right. Kaufman.
Robin Kaufman Fabrics, the quilter's little helper.
keep it on your, I mean, if you keep any
Ah,
emojis.
Robert Kaufman quilting calculator.
Yes, I keep that on my phone. So all I have to do is push and I can put my numbers in, and
You
especially
could
when
do it
you're
right.
out.
You can do it right in the store if you need it, so you
That's
know
what I mean.
exactly how much you need. Yeah.
That's when
Yeah,
it's the
that's
most
cool.
helpful. It is wonderful.
Ah, done. Yeah, because you know what? When I bought the when I was doing the first petals quilt, I had forgotten to bring the quilt with me,
Uh,
and I was trying to figure out the backing.
Hmm.
And thank goodness there were pictures of it on Instagram that we had posted, and that was how we were able to kind of figure. Thank God it wasn't like everything was pretty standard sizing, the blocks, and so
yeah.
we were able to figure it out, and then we just added a little bit to it for that one. So, what are you guys working on?
Well, I spent all afternoon working on vegetables out of my son's garden.
Oh,
But that's okay. It's a good thing. It smells like vegetables in here.
I love summertime vegetables.
I like any vegetables.
We when we lived in California, that is one thing that's very different about Florida. You would think that the produce and like all that stuff would be so much better down here because of the heat,
Mm,
but some of it's not because I think it gets too hot.
it's short-lived, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a constant job, and the farmers have a hard time, because they've got tons and tons of acreage, and how do you keep up with all that? My son has a football-sized field that he does, and that's enough. We can
Yeah.
keep the sprinklers going and all, but it's a lot of work for these people in this heat.
What a mess. I think one day this week we're going to do I've got to come up with a fun thing for these little 5-inch squares. I want to do like a coffee rug, like a big mug rug with the rest of the squares from that pack that I used to do the star
Hmm. Yeah.
because it's got these adorable, which way is right up, side up
When
there.
you
So
leave this earth, Angela, you're going to have the largest collection of mug rugs that nobody's ever seen.
someday someone's gonna come into my house when I'm gone and they're gonna say, "What are all these things?" I need to do more. Maybe what I should do, since we're still early for 4th of July, is something a little bit bigger, like like a bigger table topper. Maybe that's what I should spend a little
That'd,
more time on.
that'd be neat.
I think I would like that.
Okay, I'm going to leave, go into
Oh,
my other Zoom meeting.
all right. When do
Bye.
you leave? Do you leave? Are you you're leaving for the graduation stuff?
No, I'm leaving because I have my board meeting for my association.
No, but don't you have somebody's graduation you're going to?
No, my I lost you. My goddaughter's son decided not to walk.
Oh, you did say
Oh,
that, remember?
that's
Yeah,
right. I
because
remember now.
he went to a 2-year community college and then he decided he's going to Rutgers for the other 2 years. So, and then the rest of my graduations are all at the end of the month.
Man, so full May and June. Okay, Madeline, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Madeline.
All right. Well, I am going to sew for a little bit tonight and get some of these butterflies going, and then we are going to figure out what other squares we're going to do tomorrow off the sampler. Somebody was asking me what sampler I'm doing, and I'm doing the. Better make sure I've got watching old people.
Angela, you can go into the site that prints those patterns. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to look it up. But you can ask if there are any amendments because there has to be because that pattern is so wacky. If there's any corrections or anything else, and they will give those to you.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I may have to check on that tonight. So this one is by She Quilts a Lot, and it's Peta Piece for 2015, and it just says it's a sampler quilt. She doesn't give. Somebody was asking for the name of it. It just says sampler quilt.
Yeah, because that's probably what she calls it, you know.
Yeah. Um, but that's why I constantly put out the disclaimer because
Hmm.
some of them are a little bit off. I think
Yeah.
tomorrow. So we did the churn dash. I better mark that off. We did the churn dash. And then I think tomorrow. Oh, I did maybe I didn't. Um I just saw the one I wanted to do. Oh, we did this one. We did the churn dash. And then I think tomorrow we are going to do Old Gray Goose tomorrow. Um E5. Yeah, Old Gray Goose. So that we'll do tomorrow. Still quite a few left in this thing. And the only thing I'm running up against is I'm running out of this fabric, the batiks.
Hmm.
So we may have to, I may have to start kind of laying them out so I can see where they're at. And then we can do some other colors and maybe have the kind of other colors running diagonally in there or something. It's hard right now to know because I don't want to just put random color changes in weird places. I want it to kind of have still kind of a good flow.
Yeah.
Um, makes me wish I had gotten more of the or some of the batiks from um
Joann's.
yeah.
Hobby Lobby sells boutiques. I don't know when their sale is. You know, they have the 40% off on fabrics, but I don't know when it's periodically, but it's quite often, like every couple of weeks.
Somebody, I think it was Laura last week. It may have been Julie, but I think it was Laura had said that they do it like on alternate weeks.
Yeah, they have a pattern, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna see because it may just be easier to grab some more of these similar colors than trying to figure out because some of these squares use like quite a bit more. Um, Whirlpool, which is this one, it uses a lot. Yeah, it's almost 6 yards.
6 yards
It's almost 2 yards of each fabric.
for one block?
No,
Oh,
for
I
the
was,
whole in
oh,
each colorway. So the color one,
oh,
which they call the aqua or teal color, which we're using kind of this
hmm.
color. This lighter one is uh, 1 and 3/4, and then same for this one, and then same for the purplish color, which she used a coral. But like I don't have anything else in this colorway. I don't think. Yeah. So that's a good. I had forgotten. I've got to go back and spend some time at Hobby Lobby, and kind of go through their fabric stuff. I end up, walking through, and I just end up looking at the smaller racks that they have right there on the floor of the fabric department, and
Yeah.
I always forget that they've got that whole wall. Well, at least at mine, that whole wall full of that stuff, and I forget.
And their boutiques usually aren't right out where you can see them. They're usually on an end cap, toward the back of the row.
Yeah,
So if you don't see
yeah.
them, yeah. And, you just may find those.
No, I hope I don't mind mixing up when they're somewhat similar. Like we had used these two,
Yeah.
you know, because it kind of keeps the same feel.
Hmm.
So we'll see. We'll have to go in and do a little investigating. Is your Joanne's done? Closed?
I'm sure it is. I haven't, my Joann's is so far away, and once they started closing, things got a little ugly there, material, a mess, people not taking care. I just didn't go
Yeah.
back.
You know what? Ours, the one that's somewhat closest to us that we end up in Ocala
Uh-huh. Yeah.
kind of most frequently. When we go to that one, that store was always, I hate to say this, but the store as a whole was an old store, and it always felt like a mess. It always felt like,
Yeah.
and then when they started this stuff, it just got,
That's how it was with a lot of their stores, though, as time went on. It's a shame.
yeah, I know. I wonder if well, I'll be curious to find out where some of the fabric stock ends up,
Yeah.
like online and that kind of thing. That would be I wouldn't mind some of that.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have to go to the store. I've gotten used to not going into the store, but I hate buying it online. So I talk out of both sides of my mouth. Just realized I hope this is the same. I need to write down which one I'm using. So it's 7064. Okay. Stitch 7064 page. And somewhere on here, I'll have to ask on tomorrow's video too, or if anybody, if you're watching the replay, I can save the stitches that I use.
So you're not sure how you would do that?
I'm not sure exactly where I save them.
You could just Google
There's
it.
so many menus on this thing. Holy cow.
You could just Google it though. You could Google that you have whatever and how do I save my stitch and it'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I'm
look
not,
that up.
I'm not familiar with the machine, so I couldn't tell you. I don't think it's difficult, but if you don't know how to do it, it's difficult.
Yeah, if you don't know how to do it, it sure poses a problem. Did you do anything fun for Memorial Day?
We just did as a family, the barbecue thing and all. It was nice. It was quiet.
It was warm.
It was hot. It was
That was what we
wicked.
did too.
It was
It was,
wicked.
man, and I don't think we're getting much relief. We're supposed to get some rain later on in the week, but I don't think we're gonna get much relief from the heat from the way that it looks.
Now we're into summer. The party's over. Who can believe it's June already? I mean,
I know. I know it.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that is, I don't know, but I think I went a different way. No, I didn't. So I think that tonight I might spend a little time when everything is all said and done for the day and get, let's see if I've got enough. If not, maybe we'll just do that for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get the rest of these petals down because then I'll have 2 rows that I can finish. 2 more rows, and then I think that's just 2 left to go. Yahoo! Um, oh, somebody had sent me a message this last week about my chair. And in all the videos, there's a link to the chair, to the description of the chair, which I absolutely love. Arrow sewing chairs. And they have all kinds of different designs and setups and fabrics and um, I love it. The back of the chair sits a lot lower. So when you lean back, it's just about right at like where your lumbar would be. And it's so much more comfortable, I have found, than like a high back chair, like an office chair. I always used an office chair. Um, and so much more comfortable. And it's adjustable, but it allows you to sit right at, I always struggled with that, was being able to sit right at where I needed to for the sewing machine and not for like a desk. So if you had questions about my chair, check out that link. And that's in there. The link to the Facebook page is in there. So if you're working on projects, please post your pictures. And the link is a hot link right in the description of all the videos. So on the videos, if you just click on the little description, it will expand it and everything's in there. We try and keep everything on each video all in the same place and make it easy. And it just dawned on me, there were a bunch of people that are usually here on Wednesday nights that aren't here. And I remembered Betsy's at a graduation. There were a bunch of people that had graduation stuff that they were going to that's coming up like this weekend or going on midweek. And I have a feeling a lot of people are still recuperating from the long weekend and maybe made it a very long weekend.
Yeah. I know Laura's not here and she's usually here
Yeah.
but you're right, it could very well be.
Laura sent me a message. I think she was trying to hop on after work.
Ah,
Let's see. As soon as her work meeting is over. Hopefully she'll make it. We got another about 15 minutes, 20 minutes for tonight. And then I'm hoping I can actually get my fanny in gear and get these rows put together because Saturday for Saturday's live, I'd really like to at least sew the rows together and have like the body of the quilt just about done. I would like that. Right before sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who deals with this. Sometimes you get to a point in a quilt, even one that you love, that you're kind of ready to wrap it up. My ADHD is showing. But at least I'm getting these butterflies done. My problem is I don't end up, I take the hour that I come in here every day, but I need to take a little more time, a little extra time. If only my hobby paid me like my job. So, Sandra, is your son's, is he also in Florida?
Oh yeah, we have acreage here, and we have he has one house on his part and I have my house. We have
Nice.
10 acres. Yeah, it's very nice.
It's a lot to keep up with, though. I'll tell you what, Steve and I talk about it now all the time, especially like this last weekend and some of the yard projects that we're working on. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And Brian won't let anybody, he won't let us hire anybody to mow. He has to do it because it has to be done right. And that's a lot of land you get done
Yeah.
mowing, it's time to go back to where you started.
Well, and in the mowing part, Steve loves the mowing part, loves it.
Yeah, so does
But it's all
Brian.
the other stuff. It's all the edging and you got to clear out certain areas and we get all these big huge leaves that get piled up in under stuff and you know
You blow them
the
over at your
fertilizing
neighbor's
and the
house.
seeding and
You blow the
what?
leaves, you blow the leaves over to your neighbor's house.
Yeah. Well, right now the lot next to us is vacant. It's
Oh,
been sold, but
oh
they've not
gosh.
yet started building on it. And
Wow.
so there are multiple leaves that end up over there.
I I always tell my neighbors, they have 25 acres and they're wonderful. And I always tell them that I can't help it if all the leaves end up on their property. It's the way the wind blows.
The way the wind blows.
Mm. But yeah, you're right. Keeping up with everything is,
Yeah,
we have,
it
we
really
have,
is.
yeah, the trees, the fertilizing, but it's beautiful.
It's so we got to the end of this past weekend and we had done a lot. We were pooped, but we had done a lot. And you kind of, it's really lovely to stand back and look at
Mhm.
all that you've done and pray to God it doesn't grow back faster than when you're ready to
Yeah,
do it again.
just don't blink.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Um, there was another. I had had an idea. Let me see if I can find them real quick. I had a bunch of so if you're watching the replay, in June, we are gonna do the petals quilt and I'm doing, you can do it however you want. I'm doing it with floral prints so that the flowers will be like flowers. So we're gonna do that throughout the month of June. So I gotta get the butterflies quilt done, and then we will do the petals quilt in June. So we'll work on that on Wednesdays, hopefully Wednesdays and Saturdays during the our Zooms and during the live that we do on Saturday. So Saturday is a YouTube live Um, and I just forgot what I was going to tell you guys. If you are going to do that pattern, it works best. It works easiest, I should say. It works easiest with a 10-inch layer cake because when you flip the layer cake over, so these are 10-inch squares, when you flip it over, you can actually fit one circle, which is the center of the flowers, and then the other, I think it's 4 leaves, 4 petals will fit on one 10-inch layer cake. I had to get a little bit creative sometimes, kind of in how I was staggering them on, but I you can get 4 petals and one circle on a 10-inch square. And then you end up mixing up the petals and the circles. And that's what kind of makes it as much fun as it is. Um, or I guess you could just do all the same petals and, the circle. But you do need 8 petals for each flower. And so when you finish a square, and then they're going to sit on a 16-inch backing background square. So 16-inch background square, and then 4 of one petal and 4 of another petal. So you have 8 petals on each one, and then you're just going to use one circle. You'll end up with a bunch of circles left over because you won't use as many circles as you do petals. But I mean, you can really, that's why I'm excited. I was excited to do this one, and I'm excited to do another one because you can really do a lot of fun. You could do flowers that all look like sunflowers. You could do all different kinds of like yellow or gold for the petals, and then do all different kinds of browns or blacks for the centers. Um, I am excited to do one that's all kind of florals on it. But I've got to get all of the fabrics together. It's the other reason. In fact, I'll have to ask Madeline to post the name of the fabric that she found. She found a 10-inch layer cake that was all floral patterns. And then I don't remember. Oh yeah, she did. Um, I used on this one because it was all honeybees and bee themed, honeycombs and that kind of thing. I used a little honeycomb stitch around the whole thing. So if you have decorative stitches on your machine, it is great. Or you can just keep it really simple and do like a zigzag stitch, or you can use a blanket stitch, or I guess if you were very hesitant, you could just stitch down the sides. But I think everybody's got at least a zigzag stitch. That is what took probably the most amount of time, was just stitching down each flower. But you know what? When it was done, it gave it so much dimension. So that one I'm very, very happy with. But I
It's
do have,
beautiful. It's beautiful and it's going to be gorgeous. It really
thank you.
is.
As soon as I finally get the darn thing finished. But like most people, even if you have a big sewing room, I mean, you'd have to have a huge sewing room to have enough floor space. Uh, I guess I could. If I move this small table, I could do it on the floor here and get it layered. I mean, get it sandwiched and get it at least put together so that I could start. What I haven't figured out is uh, like what to do about quilting. I think the first thing is to get it sandwiched and laid out so I can kind of see what we're working with. Um, I had thought about, I mean, I guess to start, I could just go through the squares and kind of stitch in the ditch along the, you know, along the um, background square lines. Had I thought about it at the time, you could probably do like a quilt as you go with this if you wanted to do that, or um, I might have waited. So we'll talk about this as we get closer. I might have waited to outline the petals themselves and done that when I had gotten it done. And then that would have served to set the petals, but also as my quilting. So that might be something to think about for the next one, is just to wait, get everything glued down, get it sandwiched, um, get it all ready, and then use the outline around the flowers as your kind of as your quilting. I think that would be really cute too, because then the back side would also have um, the outline of all the flowers. So that would be kind of cute.
Mhm.
Okay, what else did I want? I had a bunch of notes for myself, and I want to make sure we went through everything. I talked about the Facebook there. Okay. Um, oh, the churn dash. Diane Platt had said that she had used the that churn dash um, block in a lot of her quilts. I just had it here. Now I've lost it. I really enjoyed that one, and I enjoyed really kind of how easy it came together. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised, and now I lost it. Of course you have, Angela. Um, but the sampler quilt is a lot of fun, and it's great. I want to get some more projects incorporated. So we are also going to be working in June out of the project idea book that is also in the description of all the videos. So if you go down, you'll see that. Um, if you like that and want to sew along with those projects throughout the rest of the year, great. If you want to just sew what you're sewing while we're chatting, that's great too. But I want to kind of try my hand at some of that stuff. I'm excited about that. But we did this sampler quilt, once you get used to the fact that some of these you're going to have to kind of adjust for size, because they're supposed to be 9.5 inches, and some of hers were a little bit off right at the beginning. So I think Sandra is the one that gave me the very good idea. Like this one is, again, it's supposed to be 9.5 inches. This one ended up being 8.5 inches. So I think I'm just going to throw a 1 inch with some of the scraps that I have, for like this green fabric for this one. Whoops, this one, Angela, this one. And just do a 1 inch border so that we all end up at the right size. That was one where her math was a little bit off. And then, in fact, a couple of those earlier ones, no, 9.5. Oh, I know what it was. There was this one. No, this one came out right too. But the points were off. Um, but there was one that I have to go back because I had redone it like 3 times and I finally gave up. And so we'll have to go back and redo that one. Let's make sure I've answered everybody's questions. Um, oh, the brother I was asking the other day, so this is the baby lock Crescendo, and I think it was the first version that had the laser light, if you like that little laser guide. And Janice Cahill, thank you, Janice, had said she has the Brother Dream machine, and hers has the laser light on it too. So if you're looking for a new machine, or if you like that function, I didn't think Steve and um, the girl who sold us the machine, who helped us when we were in the store, um, she had said, "You're really gonna like that laser. You're really gonna like that laser. You're gonna use it a lot." And Steve was like, "That's an upgrade. We should definitely get that." And I was like, "I'm never gonna use this. I can't imagine you're gonna use a guide. Why would you need to use a laser?" And at the end of the day, I use it a lot, a lot, a lot of times, just because you know I don't have a 1/4 inch mark that goes all the way down my sewing table. Um, And so sometimes I get fixated watching the 1/4 inch mark up here, close to the needle, close to where, or my presser foot where I'm sewing. And I end up sewing what I think is a 1/4 inch up here, but I'm not, but then the bottom of the fabric is tilting, is moving. And the laser helps you to keep it straight further down your project. And that to me is a big help. Big, 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 big help. Ooh. And then let's figure out when Father's Day is. Hi, Laura.
Hi there. How's it
How are
going?
you?
Hi, Laura.
Hey, how's everybody? Hang on, let's see where is it at.
We are good. You caught the you made it for the last 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I had to work.
Oh, no,
Dang
no,
it.
no. I have to go back to work.
Ugh, I'm done. I've been doing it since 5 this morning. I'm done.
Oh, no. Oh,
Ugh. I look the part too. I'm look pretty rough.
Oh, bless your heart.
It's okay.
so Father's Day, excuse me, is June 15th. So I think next week I'll start figuring out some of the stuff. I wanted to do a couple of different things for Father's Day, a couple of different projects for Father's Day. So hopefully next week we'll kind of start getting that organized a little bit.
So,
I found some really cute things online that I took screenshots of using old ties and that kind of thing. So maybe we'll do
Yeah.
something fun with that.
that sounds good.
Doesn't that sound fun? I thought that would be kind of fun.
Yes, I
You
agree.
know, not big, huge projects, but um, I wanted to do some. I wanted to do some good Father's Day gifts that weren't necessarily corny Father's Day gifts.
Yeah. Well, I did the other day, ironed on I got Wonder Under because I know I saw you use that and I
Yep.
had it. So I used it. It worked out really good. I ironed all my pieces for the daisy quilt. I'm ready.
Oh, yay!
Getting ready to start cutting out this weekend, I think.
Oh,
I'm excited. I love that quilt. Love, love, love it.
you know what? What I was just talking about was I've got it. I really want to get this thing finished because I just, and the more that it came together, like the more I couldn't believe how cute it turned out. And you can do so much with it with this pattern. I mean, I was talking a few minutes ago, you could do all kind of variations on gold for the petals, and then do variations on brown for the center, and do like a sunflowers quilt. I mean, you could do a lot of
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
with, a lot of
Very
different.
versatile. I'm actually making it for me, not anybody else. I'm going to keep
This
it.
one was for me.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's not good. This one's just for me. Yeah.
Very good.
And then my problem is that the flowers one, I'm afraid that I'm going to fall in love with that one. Oh well.
Oh, well.
It can go
You can't have
in my
too
guest.
many
I'll
quilts.
loan it to my guest room.
Yeah. Did you work on the butterfly quilt today? Oh, a double.
I've got another 2 rows of the butterflies pressed on.
Yay.
Yeah. So I started working on the just the outline stitch. And so I'm hoping I can kind of slip in here sometimes throughout the day. I'm a little spoiled. I can kind of run over and just get,
Yeah.
even if
Zip
it's just
one
for like
in.
5 or 10 minutes, and stitch a couple down.
Yeah.
So because on Saturday for Saturday's live, I'm hoping we can get the rows put together.
You're doing a live on Saturday or Sunday?
Oh no, have I been saying Saturday?
Well, you just said Saturday. I don't know, but it's usually Sunday, right?
I think I said Saturday earlier, and it is Sunday.
Okay, good.
You're watching the replay. The live is on Sunday. Thank you, Laura.
That's okay. I was just like, wait a minute. She changed days
I
on
know.
me.
Why are we changing it?
I don't know.
Sunday's live. That's actually good because I'm gonna need an extra day to get a little more done.
Yeah.
So I think for Sunday's live, I will hopefully be able to put the rows together, and then I can figure out the border.
Yes.
Very
I
good.
have to
That's
I have to sign off. I hope you'll excuse me, and I will see you.
Bye, Sandra. Have a good
And
day.
bye.
bye. It was very nice. Angela, it was fun. Thank you very much. Y'all take care.
You
Bye.
too.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming. And I actually am gonna sign off as well because I gotta go back to work for a few minutes. And I gotta feed these folks. So we're gonna do that. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you for spending some time in my sewing room. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, especially if you're watching the replay. And it'll just be Laura and me for as we close it out. Remember,
Bye.
only a 1/4 inch seam.
Let's see. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.